So here's the first big lie. Israel is trying to change the status quo on the Temple Mount. No, we're not. We haven't changed the status quo on the Temple Mount in years. There's a simple arrangement. Muslims visit the Temple Mount and they pray there. Others, Jews, Christians, and other denominations, secular people, they come. Secular people pray too, by the way. They visit the Temple Mount, but they don't. Sunday to Thursday, 7 to 11, the non-Muslims visit. Muslims visit the rest of the time. How many Muslims have visited and prayed on the Temple Mount, on average, last year? Anybody know?
300,000.
No, not 300,000, 3.5 million. 80,000 Christians and other denominations, and 12,000 Jews. That hasn't changed. Though the Temple Mount is our holiest site, it was built there by King Solomon 3,000 years ago, 1,500 years before the birth of Islam. Though we've been attached to it for 3 millennia, we in no way deny the sacred sites or the rights or the free access for other denominations. And Israel has not and will not change the status quo. This is one huge lie. The second is not only that we seek to change the prayer arrangements on the Temple Mount and the non-prayer arrangements on the Temple Mount, which we don't, is that we seek to destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Now this is particularly farcical. It would be farcical if it weren't tragic. My grandfather came to this land in 1920, and he landed in Jaffa, and very shortly after he landed, he went to the immigration office in Jaffa, and a few months later it was burnt down by marauders. These attackers, Arab attackers, murdered several Jews, including our celebrated writer Brenner. And this attack and other attacks on the Jewish community in 1920 and 1921, 1929, were instigated by a call of the Mufti of Jerusalem, Haj Amin al-Husseini, who was later sought for war crimes in the Nuremberg trials because he had a central role in fomenting the final solution. He flew to Berlin. Hitler didn't want to exterminate the Jews at the time. He wanted to expel the Jews. And Haj Amin al-Husseini went to Hitler and said, if you expel them, they'll all come here. So what should I do with them? He asked. He said, burn them. And he was sought during the Nuremberg trials for prosecution. He escaped it. Later died in cancer after the war, died of cancer in Cairo. But this is what Haj Amin al-Husseini said. He said, the Jews seek to destroy the Temple Mount. My grandfather in 1920 seeks to destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque. So this lie is about 100 years old. It fomented many, many attacks. The Temple Mount stands. The Al-Aqsa Mosque stands. But the lie stands too, persists. First lie, Israel seeks to change the status quo, false. Second lie, Israel seeks to destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque, false. It's particularly onerous because Israel is the only country that protects the holy sites in the Middle East. You see Muslims, the militant Shiites and the militant Sunnis blowing each other's mosques to smithereen across Iraq, Syria, you name it. Churches, of course. Synagogues, don't even talk about it. And ancient shrines of great world heritage blown up. The only place where the holy shrines of all are absolutely guaranteed is in Jerusalem under Israeli sovereignty and of course in the rest of Israel. Here's lie number 3. The reason you have this surge of violence is because there's been a surge in settlement construction. Did you hear this? Yeah, all the time. Well, here are the numbers. Some of you are not going to like them. In my first term in office, we built an average of 3,000 units annually in Judea and Samaria. In Barak's single year, we built 5,000. In Sharon, it was down to 1,900. In Olmert, it was down to 1,700. And given the circumstances, in my successive terms, it's down to 1,500. There are reasons for that. We can discuss that some other time. But facts are facts. These numbers are exact. So far from seeing a settlement surge, there's actually been a decline in construction. I raise that because this is raised again and again and again. The Palestinians are protesting because of a surge in settlement activity. Sorry, not true. And I put the facts forward before the world. Some surge.